welcome to the Scratch Studios at Birmingham City University.
Hello, thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. Get straight into it. So you're halfway through the Complete My Tour. Tell us about the whole concept that's a bit different to a usual tour.
It is, it's a bit different. I've toured around the UK supporting various people, which has been really cool. And I've just finished recording my debut album, which is quite exciting. But I've been away for a while, so I wanted to come back. And my managers were like, cool, let's plan a tour for October. And I was like, October? That's so far, we're in May now. And I have to be out gigging, because that's just a part of musicians. We just always have to be out playing. So I was like, you know, I've been away for a while. Why don't we just go and see the people who have been on Twitter and Facebook who keep asking, when are you coming to Birmingham? When are you coming here? When are you coming there? And I've always been like, oh, soon. But I was like, let's just break the rules a little bit and come up with a tour shaped by those people who are asking me to come to their towns and cities. So I was like, cool, let's contact people and say, why don't you give us suggestions as to where we should play, and make a rule that it can't be in any venues. So it was a bit interesting, a bit different. So we've had all kinds of weird suggestions. Last weekend I played in a laundrette. We played a gig in a vintage camera shop and in a warehouse that's been converted into a cool art exhibition.
Never gonna be the whoa, you cling on to. Never gonna be the whoa.
What I've really enjoyed about it is how in contact I've had to be with people with suggestions, whether it be someone being like, come and play at this aquarium, or my daughter has a vintage clothes shop you should come to. You know, I've actually had longer conversations with people about learning different things about the people who follow my music, and it's a really varied range of people, and I wouldn't have got to know that much about the people I follow without having much more interaction than, oh, I like your music, oh, thank you. Like, it's nice to be, you know, to feel like you know a bit more about the makeup of people who are interested in your music. So, I always wanted to play in a laundrette, so that happened last week, so now I need to rethink. I think probably now, because I couldn't make it happen and two people suggested it, I would like to perform in an aquarium in that, like, shark tunnel.
Oh, yeah.
But I couldn't sort it out so that people wouldn't have to pay.
Hey, talking about the album, why don't you tell us a bit about it? It's coming up soon.
It is coming up soon. It's pretty much finished. I've shot the artwork for it. It's a real surreal thing to say as an artist, that one, a project is almost finished, and two, that it's going to be an album, because that's the big sort of cornerstone that you've been working up to all my little life. So it's there. I'm really proud of it. It's sort of acoustic indie, like married to pop, but also like having like a seedy love affair with like Brazilian and African rhythms, which I know sounds really weird, and it was weird and it was really confusing for me when I first started like coming up with ideas, but it has somehow all married together, and it's quite interesting.
Is there anyone you'd like to collaborate with in the future, like anyone in particular?
Yes, there is. She's just had a baby, so I'm not sure she's doing open to collaborations at the moment. But I love Imogen Heap, because she approaches production from a really non-conventional sort of direction. She, as a producer, as an artist, as a vocalist, I think she's very innovative in the way that she puts things together, and her live setup is so experimental. I don't know if you know much about her, but she just she can control like effects on stage with some gloves, and she has these like microphones attached to her wrists, so she doesn't have to mic everything up, all these little world instruments she uses. She can just go up to them and then record and loop it. Like, it blows your mind. So I think writing with someone who doesn't stick to normal conventions and would really be quite liberating and open. And I just really love her and just want to fangirl in front of her for a while. You know, it's really refreshing seeing someone do something a bit different. And on my onstage setup, I loop some drums. So I loop like a floor tom and snare and an African xylophone, because those are the elements that are on my record. So I felt it was really important to have them live. But I can't afford 8 people in my band, so I had to figure out a way to replicate some of that live. So I do use looping a little bit, and hopefully in a slightly different way than most singer-songwriters do. And I would love to go to Australia. I have visited there about 3 years ago, which I went to Melbourne, and it really helped me become the artist that I am today. You know, that sounds really cheesy, but I'd walked away from music because I went through the phase where I had to try lots of different music and make loads of rubbish stuff, and I made music that I really thought people wanted to hear, and I didn't really listen to myself much, and I was probably just trying too hard, so I just thought maybe I shouldn't be an artist. So I spent about a year away from music, and it's when I visited Melbourne, and like, if you walk down the street with a guitar in Melbourne, like, someone will stop you and be like, oh, hey, you play guitar, I play guitar, we probably would get along. Like, people will start and they'll have a conversation with you, or they know someone else who plays guitar, or they know a gig going on later, and it's just that kind of like open community, which is really nice and refreshing. And so I went to a few gigs, a few festivals, and just met some artists, and just remembered that music is meant to be fun. So Melbourne has quite a soft spot in my heart, so I'd love to go back feeling a bit more confident as the artist that I am now and playing a show. I'm very, I just say things as I see it, to the point that I was shooting a music video on, on Tuesday, and I had to stop filming, so I just got a song idea, and like, it stopped the set, and I was like, someone just give me their phone. And so I've got a guitar riff that the guy who was helping me out doing my hair has got in his phone, and I've got like a vocal melody that's on like someone else's on set's phone, and I was like, you got to email them to me, because I just sort of get ideas on the spot and they just come out, and so it's sort of that instantaneous thing of just having like a live commentary like going on in your head, and you just want to talk about it, because some things I observe or feel or like go through, I just write from my perspective, and if someone else can relate to it, then that's brilliant. But I don't write thinking, oh, if I change this lyric it will apply to loads more people. Then I just write about what I know, which works for me.
Thank you for that.
Never gonna be your princess, just another guy in the room. Never gonna be the, whoa, oh, oh.